Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Well, hope you had a wonderful weekend. I did, and hopefully you get going to a great start here. Now, let's see. There's a couple of things that need to be mentioned. That the Bud Light seems to really be taking a great downfall. Good job on y'all to really just hurt the brand and keep on doing it because yeah, reality is smacking them in the face. So we have a few things here. This young woman here that is a current bartender and does serve the populace in the normal community of people. And she says that it's very stupid to do this. And I 100% agree. There's going to be a lot of information coming out, coming to what a man is doing, what's happening to his job because of the stupid CEO woman of the decisions that she's made, which will also go to her as well, that she's an idiot and she doesn't understand her community or her actual demographic at all, because they're idiots. So without further ado, here's the first video of the woman explaining this, and a few other great things that will be coming to the near future. Take a look.
Battled myself on whether or not I should say anything about this. But as a bartender, it's really hard for me not to. At what point would it ever be smart to mix alcohol and politics? It's just the cardinal rule. You don't do it. But now we have to. Another thing, a bartender in a rural community that serves mostly blue-collar men that typically aren't going to be a fan of this. This puts the subject out there. This makes us hand this to them and then what, duck for a lot of it? I don't think you guys get it. This is going to cause a lot of problems. And I don't care how people live their life, go do it. I really don't. I just don't understand why it has to be everywhere. I mean, this is not smart.
Yes, and she's absolutely right. In terms of, like, she works for most people that go to bartending or whatever are not usually people that drink beer, that, that are into politics or whatever. They're out doing lives, just like us normal people. Most people in the day that are just honestly people that are just trying to work and not have politics shoved into their face. A lot of people just don't want politics shoved in their face. It's like playing a game and then having politics shoved in your face. Why would you want to do that? Same thing with movies. And something Hollywood hasn't seemed to grasp is that they decided to force, like, politics into your face and expect you to like the said movie or show and deal with the politics. Well, that's not what it's good. That's not good. Most people do not want to deal with politics in shows, TV, or any time over or entertainment because we use that to get away from it. And for whatever reason, it has to be shoved into your face. Now, I understand that some of you, when you come into my channel or what have you, you probably, you expect politics, you expect something of the nature, or you're either looking for it and you are looking for something political, so that's something that you're looking for. Whereas people that are not looking for politics or not looking for this type of stuff to really be happening, it's just shoved in their face and they have to deal with it, and it's very, very annoying. And we have more with this type of stuff, to where this is a store that is full of Bud Light and Budweiser, but it's not full of really anything else. Kind of hilarious if you do say so myself. So what we'll do is that we'll go over this brief stuff. I probably won't be doing the actual video because there's a copyright issues, I think I'm going to assume, but yeah. But yeah, this is pretty much what we have here. So we have all the light and all that stuff over there. And then we have Coors. It's pretty much gone. That's gone. Yeah. And now we have that. That is just all full of Budweiser and Bud Light. This is what happens when you try to force things and terrible things down people's throats that nobody wants. So you have to face repercussions. Now we have this from 100% official beer sponsor of Sodom and Gomorrah. Now some people, I guess you could say, is that this guy could be lying or whatever. Who cares if it's lying or whatnot? This is the true fact of reality, whether you want to say so, because there are people that do this. There are people that have this issue, and we're gonna be back after momentarily seeing what this guy has to say about it, because it is damaging in some way. We never kind of look at the other side of things when the casting does happen, but these are things that the companies have to suffer, and unfortunately the employees do too. But at the end of the day, we have to do what is right for the better future of our people. Sometimes when we make decisions, it's going to affect people in a negative way, but the overall outright positive is better. I would say this is affecting him in a negative way, but the outright positive is better. We will be fighting back a culture that will further better his life in the long run, rather than even though he's going to have a downturn in the life right now. So take a look at this.
I work for an affiliate company. I am a merchandiser, and the sole product of the company I work for is Anheuser-Busch products. So with all this canceling going on, I've never seen such little sales in this past few days on these products. And it's sad, because when people don't buy this beer, I don't make money, and I can't feed my family. So it's kind of heartbreaking, I guess, that Anheuser-Busch did what they did. They don't know their clientele, so it's kind of heartbreaking. Thanks, Anheuser-Busch. I may not be able to feed my family coming up here soon.
So yeah, thanks to all that, that this is going on and tough stuff like that, and that's what's the huge issue here, is that they're doing this in all a negative light. It's having repercussions on actual real working people, because they have horrible decisions that are actually terrible. Now, we're going to go on to here, to where we have this when we expose them. Bud Light VP Alyssa Hankenschid says, in order to save the declining brand, they need to attract young drinkers with an exclusive campaign that appeals to both men and women. Not very inclusive of her to use binary language like this. And and the thing is that she's the reason why this is falling. This is collapsing. She has single-handedly destroyed the Bud Light and Budweiser brand because of her own stupidity. It's just like, ladies, when are you going to start understanding that when you get into groups of power, into groups of stuff like this, that this is not the way to go? People are not going to go off of feelings here. Our society has become so feeling driven that it's actually gone to really turn our society into a downward turn. We can't be going down into feelings and stuff like that, because it doesn't really work. You have to go down to actual stats, actual things that legitimately work, rather than going to feelings. Now, obviously, there are feelings that would come into play that would be beneficial to this, right? So we also have to think that way as too. Feelings can be involved, but in certain situations like this, you can't really do that. Feelings don't work when it comes to demographics. You have to know your demographic in order to function. From less than 2 weeks after these statements were published, Hayes and Shea managed to alienate men and denigrate women by sponsoring a con man dressed as a woman. Mission accomplished? So yeah, here you're going to have a video of what this woman is saying, and it's interesting how wrong she was. Take a look.
I had a really clear job to do when I took over Bud Light. And it was, this brand is in decline. It's been in decline for a really long time. And if we do not attract young drinkers to come and drink this brand, there will be no future for Bud Light. So I had this super clear mandate. It's like, we need to evolve and elevate this incredibly iconic brand. And what I brought to that was a belief in, okay, what does evolve and elevate mean? It means inclusivity. It means shifting the tone. It means having a campaign that's truly inclusive and feels lighter and brighter and different and appeals to women and to men. Mm-hmm. And representation is at sort of the heart of evolution. You've got to see people who reflect you in the work. And we had this hangover. I mean, Bud Light had been kind of a brand of fratty, kind of out of touch humor, and it was really important that we had another approach.
So you're a businesswoman, yet you made one of the horrible business decisions in your entire lifetime. Obviously, they must have chose wrong if you were brought in to do this, because this is stupidity on the highest level. So here's the thing. the millennials, Gen Xers, or whatever are not on the same wavelengths as you. You are an idiot, and if you're thinking that, then you're insane. I do know, maybe this is just me with my friends, but majority of the time that I see or know my friends, a lot of them actually just don't drink alcohol anymore. If they do, it's a very rare occasion, and if they are drinking, they are cutting back quite a bit. So I don't see where this is going. The fact of the matter is that you're catering to a demographic that is a small minority that is already have problems mentally. So I don't know where you're going with this. It's not going to work, and as you're seeing, it's a horrible and terrible decision. You should be immediately fired for what you've done, because this is because you have single-handedly possibly destroyed the entire brand of Bud Light and Budweiser. Probably nobody's going to buy it anymore, and you have done irreparable damage because of your wokeness. All right, so I don't see where this is a good idea at all. So we have this, obviously, that says Bud Light's marketing VP was inspired to update fratty out-of-touch branding. I'm a businesswoman, I had to do a really good job, blah, blah, blah. So it says, Andrew Shades, I don't even know how to pronounce her last name, alright? I really don't care, honestly. Have gone viral days later after Bud Light and its parent company, Anheuser-Busch, to receive backlash for partnering with transgender activist Dylan Mulvaney. The beer maker ignited a firestorm earlier this month when it celebrated Mulvaney's 65 days of girlhood by saying Mulvaney comes from cans featuring the influencer's face. Yeah, but the thing is that, like, you send a trans activist or this lunatic here that nobody likes, and as the one woman said, you put politics into alcohol, which is stupid. Politics shouldn't be in alcohol. Same thing as politics should not be in video games or TV entertainment. It shouldn't be in anything. When you put politics into all this entertainment stuff or things that are natural, you single-handedly destroy everything. I don't see where this is like a great move for you. This is a fucking terrible move. Hedge yourself to the representation sort of the heart of evolution. You have to get to see who people reflect you in the work. Yes, and people who do this or do drink are not part of that demographic. And you wanted to cater to the fratty or whatever, but that's the demographic, so you gotta work with the demographic. The problem was I had some person tell me before that, like, oh, it depends on demographics. Yes, it depends on the demographics of the people that you build, the people who you have. And I'm telling you right now, the demographics of maybe the movies or whatever, or even in this case, you have to cater to that demographic, but it doesn't mean you have to race swap, because the demographic is both black and white people know of that particular character to be that that one race. So you changing the actual story, the actual race, the everything is not catering to a demographic. You're catering to a demographic that nobody cares and nobody likes. It's a stupidity, and not only that, you're also including out politics into it. So it's a huge, massive problem. So, yeah, this is what we call stupidity at its finest. And we have this, the Super Bowl will kick off a new marketing era for Bud Light, and a woman is part of at the helm for this new direction. Alyssa, as Vice President of Marketing for Bud Light, is the first woman to ever lead the popular brand. Wow, first woman. That's amazing. So now does this not look really bad on women when they enter doing stuff? It seems that she single-handedly destroyed it. So that she hurt women in two ways here. She hurt women by being the first woman to introduce a new marketing direction, and then single-handedly destroy it overnight. And then she hurts women by having honestly a misogynist piece of garbage enter it to where he is playboying or doing whatever type of stuff against women that's not really a woman. So you hurt women twice here. You have done the exact opposite of helping women at all, if that was your actual goal here, because you've done it twice. You failed women twice. It's amazing on how much of a failure you are of what you've done. So, yeah, this is what's going on, guys. And by the way, this is the stock. It's even collapsing. This is for 5 days. We would do it a month. It was up, right? It was up, right? But now, if you go just to the 5 days, it's just been in the total massive decline. Good job for ruining the brand, and you should be fired, as I said, post-haste. You no longer are allowed to work in the field of companies because we know that you will just demolish it entirely. Alright guys, that's the video. Like, subscribe, share, as always.